hated pulling the weeds. You haven't really learned the discipline of money.
Yeah.
So 6 years plus the year of telemarketing plus these 8.5 years.
Do you find that through the freedom you're able to accomplish more, to be more, to personally develop? How are things different for you personally? Let's start with that.
The biggest change personally, because admittedly I've had my company 12 years and the first 8.5 years were still financial struggle.
Yeah.
So 6 years plus the year of telemarketing plus these 8.5 years. It's just been the last few years, and the biggest change is the pressures changed. Before it was stress, and it was a financial stress, it was a am I good enough stress.
Yeah.
Being a breadwinner and a husband that provides. So because I've been very purpose driven. I felt like the path I'm on is the path I'm supposed to be on.
Sure. And
yet I'm failing. And so it was really hard. And then, and I've shared before the memories of sitting in the Walmart parking lot, knowing I need to buy diapers, don't have any money, and then I'm thinking, you know what, I can write a check and then it will just be a negative balance in my bank account, so I'll still be able to buy, just trying to figure out those things emotionally. So that's been the biggest change, is like the financial stress is gone. I don't have any debts other than mortgages that are good debt because they're leveraged and making me money. I don't have any bad debts. I don't have like my credit. I use one credit card that I never max out because I've got a huge balance on it, but I pay it off a couple times every month.
Right.
So I don't have that stress. I don't have that pressure. Any pressures that I feel now are just overwhelm. I mean, I've got a team of 31 people that all really make this company run, and yet I've been listing out all the different things that I'm still responsible for. And granted, a key team member stepped away from the company, parted his friends. He's a great guy, but a lot of those roles came back. And as I'm listing out, there's 50 or 100 different items that I'm like, man, there's still a lot that I want to systematize and hire people. I'll probably be replacing him with about 3 or 4 people.
Wow.
So.
So when you look at that, does that excite you in terms of the work itself, or has that become more of just administrative burden? And what's sort of the end game goal for you? Is it to just oversee, sit back, pull in the checks and let everyone else work? Is it to put people to work and to provide for them and their families? I mean, what is it why do you do this? Where are you going with it?
So I've realized that a gift that I have is kind of a vision for the end result. So when I see that YouTube can be used in a certain way, or I see if we create this system, it'll better take care of clients, or whatever it is, I know what steps will get there. And it's hard for me to explain so that other people understand what I'm talking about. But I love to create, and when I see a path that will lead to a result, whether it's for me, my business, my clients, my team, then I love creating it, but I get burned out running it myself.
Yeah.
An analogy that I've come up with is my grandpa. He had a rose garden. It was like this big triangle area of just fresh brown soil. He had all these rose bushes, and he wanted me to weed that area. And there were the rose bushes that had long, and so I'd trim it back and keep it looking beautiful. I hated pulling the weeds. I wanted to put down tarp, the weed blocker tarp, and put wood chips over it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna look beautiful, Grandpa.
Right.
But he liked the look of that fresh soil, and for me, I'm just like, but you want me to come back every couple weeks and weed again and again and again? So that's where I in my business the same thing happens. I really like to systematize and put down that weed blocker tarp so that it's a more long-term fix. So I'll create a system, a step-by-step process that a videographer will follow, or an editor will follow, or how we do coaching with our clients, so that I can do it the right way, so that make sure that the best outcome is happening. but I want to create that system and not have to just do the task over and over and over.
I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, the idea, man. The visionary, the leader, as it were, really, where you can just kind of map out what it is that will work. Did you ever consider project management? Because you sound like a project manager.
It sounds boring to me, though.
Well, if the shoe fits. Just messing with you. All right, so why do you think it is? I've read books, I speak out there and do different things, talking about what helps us be happier, or how to find happiness, real lasting happiness. And a lot of people, way too many, believe that it is exorbitant amounts of money, and money will bring them happiness. You read about lottery winners who have won millions and millions and millions of dollars, only to come back and say, we wish we had torn up the ticket. I don't like the person I've become. My life is miserable. They abducted my children and my wife. They've robbed me, mugged me. I've lost all my family and friends. Talk to me a little bit about that. Happiness and money.
Yeah. I want to actually talk about the lottery winner thing, because like if you become wealthy by accident, by lottery, you haven't really learned the discipline of money.
Yeah.
And I've gone through so much struggle that now that I finally had success, it's not that I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
But I'm not making the same mistakes that I would had I earned the lottery in the beginning.
If it were overnight, or some inheritance that's just out of nowhere. Here you go. Here's millions of dollars. Oh, and you don't know how to. It's like the kids coming out of the high school into the NBA or whatever, and they don't know. They have to go through classes to learn how to be a millionaire.
It takes a wisdom and an understanding and just smarts of, is this a good purchase or is this not? Is this what wealthy people do? Is this what you do when you have abundance? And you kind of have to go through the hard knocks, or I don't know. You have to learn the ropes to be able to understand how to do it. So I'm still learning the ropes. Like I've gone through different phases where I broke that 6-figure barrier, and I'm like, oh, I can afford this. Should I afford that? And do some things right, do some things wrong, and then break other barriers. And it's a learning process. So now when you're the way you introduce this, is money bad? Is wealth bad? Is that kind of what you're asking?
I'm just asking people that I believe
like
erroneously go after money, thinking that will solve all of their issues and make them happy.
So I can, and many people have said this before, money doesn't make you happy, but money is a tool, and I love having the tool.
Yeah.
There's other things that I'm working on in my life that money is not the source of happiness. Money is freedom a little bit. Like it's freedom from that stress. I'm so glad. But I admit that I'm a very religious person. I credit God for the blessings that I have in helping me finally break through and not have to have that stress anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a perspective that I have to keep. Because I am a person that has a tendency towards pride and thinking, ooh, look what I've accomplished. And that's just an area that I constantly have to stay away from. So money is a fantastic blessing. It's a great tool and resource to be able to do things.
It gives you security. I mean, that word, I think, for a lot of people, especially now, is just so important, is they want to have that security. But the freedom, too, when you take that pressure off, do you find that through the freedom you're able to accomplish more, to be more, to personally develop more, because you don't have that burden on your brain of where's this next payment coming from? How are we going to pay for this?
I would say absolutely yes, and add that sometimes the pressure forces you to innovate and create and figure things out. But I much more enjoy the learning, the creation, and the freedom without it. For example, we had, this is a while ago, we had a client that was rude and kind of offended some of my team members. And he was paying us a lot of money, but I fired that client, and I was happy to be able to do that. Yeah. But it's like, we don't need the money. We don't need your money. We don't need to be treated that way. Just to be able to stand, that's just one example, but also to really be able to take a step back and like, am I making this decision because we need the money because I'm desperate? Or is it really what I want to do? Do I enjoy this? Are there any changes that I want to make?
What a horrible, horrible challenge. And then you discovered something that would get you to this point. What was it and how did that come about?
This, like I looked at what is the worst case scenario, and it was a chunk of change.
Got it.